Moving on, developments in Ukraine has made Taiwan, located halfway across the world, nervous that China might take advantage of a distracted West and increase pressure on the island. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen has ordered the island's armed and security forces to step up their surveillance, remain alert for any Chinese military activity in the region, and strengthen combat readiness as tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to escalate. The Taipei government, however, which is always on high alert for any Chinese provocations, has not reported any unusual maneuvers by Beijing in recent days. Taiwan last month also set up a Ukraine working group under its National Security Council. These precautions have been taken because of speculations that Beijing might seize the opportunity to attack Taiwan when the US and Europe have their attention diverted to Ukraine. Beijing considers Taiwan as part of its province that must be taken under control by force if necessary. Taiwan, which rejects China's claims, has lived under the threat of Chinese invasion since the defeated Republic of China government fled to the island in 1949 after losing a civil war to the communists. Taiwan has condemned Russia for violating the sovereignty of Ukraine and called for the two sides to resolve their disputes in a peaceful manner. Ross Fingold is a political risk analyst based in Taiwan and now joins us live to talk more about Taiwan's worries. Mr. Fingold, thank you for your time and welcome to WION.
Thank you.
Are the President's comments that Taiwan will be ignored by world powers amid the Ukraine crisis justified?
Well, the issue really for Taiwan is probably not so much that during these few days, while there's so much attention focused on Ukraine and whether or not Russia will invade, it's the world response. So when we see countries in Europe or the United States saying that they're not going to dispatch troops to assist Ukraine to fight in Ukraine, to help Ukraine recover its territory, that's really where the concern lies here in Taiwan. And as you said, China has threatened Taiwan with force to force a unification pretty much on an ongoing basis, not for days or weeks or months, but for decades. So the risk or the threat is an ongoing one for Taiwan. So again, the issue that the government and the military and really the population here in Taiwan need to be thinking about is what is the world response to a situation like Ukraine? And is that or is that not applicable to the situation here in Taiwan?
Will these surveillance and military deployments by Taiwan really deter China?
That's unlikely. China has increasingly improved its ability to probe around Taiwan, whether that's in the air or at sea, or increasingly with the use of cyber tactics as well. Taiwan, frankly, has a much smaller military. It tends to be very reactive to, for example, Chinese warplanes flying within Taiwan's airspace. So the statements by President Tsai is more of a reminder of what the military tries to do on an ongoing basis, but her statement alone is not really going to change much of what the military does. And again, their ability to prevent China from, again, exercises, things that cause Taiwan to have to react, the ability of Taiwan to prevent that is limited. It can only do what it needs to do and what it should do to respond to those kinds of actions by China.
Finally, Mr. Fingold, what impact will the situation in Ukraine have on island nations like Taiwan?
Well, again, that's the key point with regard to the reaction from other countries, major military powers, the Western countries, to what is going on in eastern Ukraine right now. If countries like Taiwan or in other places around the world see that there's an unwillingness to use military force, then to come to the assistance of those places when they're threatened by a neighboring country, then the lesson for places like Taiwan is extremely clear, that they have to do more to invest in their own defense. And whether that's the government or the military or the people, the corporate world, these various stakeholders have to face that reality.
Mr. Ross Fingold, thank you very much for your time and for talking to WION today. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.